hello, lovelies, or ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to uh, our second meet and greet for my upcoming Journey Inward, which is my signature that will happen the second week of March. We will discuss the start of the program because some of you are getting anxious, and I'm sorry, ladies. I'm kind of needing more time to introduce this program, how this program can help so many of you. This is why I'm kind of late, but stick with me. We're just gonna explore right now, and you're going to enjoy it because even if it's free right now, you're gonna still learn so much from my class. Right? I'm right now on 5 different pages and platforms in my 2 pages on YouTube, as well as my 2 groups, free groups right now. If you are interested in getting to know about this program, I give you the link to my group for the program. It's called Journey Inward, the Odyssey, an epic journey to wholeness. So add yourself there, okay? So between now and March, probably about March 15, we're gonna discuss a lot of things, how I can help you to get unstuck in your life, right? Because a lot of you come to me, okay, I'm such in a difficult situation. Can you help me? And I feel so much compassion for you, ladies. I understand how hard it is when you are like alone in the world. You have nowhere to go to. So once again, welcome to the free class. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so say hello when you can. So I know you are here with me. And my computer has been like freezing at least twice today. So excuse me if all of a sudden I go offline. It's probably because my my computer is tabs and windows open every day because I'm so like jumping from one task to another. You know, the multitasking thing that women do a lot, right? Hi, Skeeter. Uh, Practice being in the moment with me, ladies. Okay, because when you know how to be in the moment, you know your life will become so. Let's see. Uh, every page runs smoothly. Well, if it doesn't, it doesn't, right? And so on different outlets, it's just getting crazier by the day, ladies. So today, I would like to talk more about why you need to do your inner work, right? Because many of you come to a relationship expecting that you will be happy because there will be a guy who makes you happy all the time, right? Um, so he can save you self. Maybe you don't exactly think that way, but uh, the fact that to some or many is an indication that you really have a lot of like very skewed expectations um, of partnership or of a relationship. This is why it's so hard for you. Your marriage or your relationship is always rocky, is all dependency. What is codependency? Two codependent people create a hell on earth because they are kind of stuck with each other. They cannot live with each other, but at the same time, they can't leave the relationship. So Damn when you're together, damn when you're not together. So when you're together, you want to break up. When you break up, you're missing something in your life. So you seek each other again and you get back together again. And then the cycle continues away from each other. You're stuck. You're stuck in a rut. You're stuck with each other. And why are you stuck with each other? Basically, you stay in a toxic, abusive, codependent relationship because you haven't graduated from that stage yet. Meaning that there is a lot to learn from the relationship that you're not done. Because the minute you're done, all of a sudden you're not attracted to the drama anymore. All of a sudden, why do I keep torturing myself with this same kind of toxin, poison, and bullshit day in, day out? When you are done, you know, being codependent, all of a sudden, that relationship doesn't have any draw, any uh, yeah, magnetic field anymore toward you, meaning that you're not attracted to that relationship anymore. You are not attracted to the person anymore. And you are kind of naturally drifting away from the person or drifting away from the relationship. There is not even like so much struggle. You just naturally not wanting that kind of situation anymore because it doesn't do anything to you anymore. It doesn't even like create so much like uh, entanglement in you. All this suffering, all these tears, all these hurt feelings. You just done. Meaning you're just like in a way numb, right? So the very first thing that a person who is pretty much done with a codependent relationship is that sense of numbness. Like I'm numb. I don't know what to feel anymore. But one thing for sure, I'm not going back to that. That doesn't interest me anymore. I'm not addicted to that anymore. I want something new. Not even that I want something new. I just don't want to go back there. Right? But to you who are still in that cycle of toxicity and abuse, you're feeling hurt, you are angry and resentful. You cannot leave. You cannot leave. You're stuck. You're stuck. And you're not together, you miss him. And when you're together, you want to kill him. And on and on and on and on. It's basically, it is living in hell on earth, right? That you create that hellish expression because only unconscious people will let themselves be continuously tortured in that way, right? So my job, my role is to wake you up. I want to wake you up, ladies. I want to help you, right? And I give you a lot of free classes, so I can only give so much energy one on one. Bear with me. I don't mean it quite that way, right? I want to help all of you, those who have money, those who don't have money, everyone. As long as you are receptive, respectful, and not a ball buster, I'm always going to welcome you with open arms as well. So because my life is easy, I am naturally not attracted toward any situation or any type of people who will bring hardship in my life, whatever form it takes. Doesn't mean you have to be very advanced or evolved to be around me. No, it's not that. I just want one thing: be receptive and be respectful. You cannot respect me, fine. I don't expect people to respect me. You can disrespect me in your own time, absolutely. But if you are in my in my presence, In order for you to get my response, to get my attentions, of course, it's common sense. You have to be respectful of someone you need help from. So if you act like a diva with me, you're in your place. So, and I don't care if you buy products from me or you've been my client for so long, you know. I mean, I thank you for your support, but at the end of the day, you know, I can only work with those who are ready for the message, who are ready to be receptive, to be feminine, to listen to me. Of course, you can ask questions, you can disagree, okay, but if I'm not resonating, common sense is, of course, you know, don't follow anyone that you don't resonate better for you at this stage. I'm not discounting that, you know, there are other coaches that are quite different from me that work better than myself for you at this very moment. But I'm always open because in life, never say never, right? You will never know what life is going to bring you know, and the kind of people that you will meet, or you will meet again, or you'll be uh, crossing paths again. You did once in the past, but then it didn't work, and then you go separate ways, and then you grow up through life experiences, and you come back, and then those people now become your. They make more sense to you, right? Have you been in that situation? Because in that situation, so today I would like to address you, ladies. Some of you have been actually under my care, have been working with me. Some are really like a long time, right? Let's say a client of mine, coaching her probably at least the last 6 years, the last 5 6 years. But she said, "No, Kat, I've been with you for like 10 years." I said, "Really?" I didn't know, but you still have this problem. Yeah, ladies, don't beat yourself up. Okay, some things are really difficult, and I will try to destructive uh, pattern of being so reactive that your relationship is always abusive. You just can't help yourself, right? Unconscious people pretty much can help themselves being in a situation that they despise, that they don't know how to get out of. It's very common. And then there is also uh, who has just found me. Um, I'll just mention, you know, her pseudo name, Queen Maggie. I hope you're in the class right now, honey. I'm gonna read your story. And then also there is another lady, is so beautiful, so sexy, but she has this recurring problems that she can save with in just in general. And I wanna explain to you why you're so defensive all the time. Like you need to explain yourself. You know, you need to uh, always defend yourself, even though in a situation that doesn't really require any defending. Why? Why is that? Because yeah, pretty much you don't approve yourself, right, ladies? If you approve yourself, you stop explaining yourself. You know, you might not get along with some people. Then what happened? What that happens? You just not gonna be around those people. You accept that. You accept I don't get along with these people. I don't like them, and I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem not liking them. I don't have to explain myself why I should like these people because you know I'm supposed to, you know, to be nice to people and this and that because you know yourself, you like yourself. So at the end of the day, everything that I teach, ladies, is for you to come to terms with your own shortcomings, flaws, mistakes, to love yourself, warts and all. You know, you're not perfect. I'm not perfect. Nobody is in the world. But if you love and approve yourself, you cease having problems with yourself. You cease fighting yourself. You cease judging yourself. And you cease caring about what people say about you. Isn't that what you want in life? That you really just don't give a fuck about what people think of you. So you stop defending yourself. You stop explaining yourself. And you stop fighting with yourself. And when you stop fighting with yourself, you naturally stop fighting with people. Okay, you stop trying to make people like you and accept you and love you. You know, the only person that is most important to you, that need to love you, need to forgive you, need to like you is who? Anyone? You yourself. Nobody else matters. You yourself, first and foremost, need to love you, need to like you, need to approve and trust you. You know, other people are secondary because the minute you accept yourself, warts and all, the world ceases to become a, a like a battling stage. It's no longer a warring stage. You know, you don't need to battle the world so you can uh, be accepted. You can be liked. Okay, who cares? You like yourself. That is the best, the ultimate gift anyone can give themselves. So then that is the purpose of my journey inward. Not just my journey inward, all my classes and programs, including the fan subscriptions. So in the fan subscriptions, ladies, currently we have like 141 classes, amounting to over 152 hours of streaming, all for just $99 a month. So you can stay as much as you want to, as much as you need to, and you get soul nourishment every day, pretty much. You're gonna keep busy a few hours a day. You listen to my classes before you go to bed, and at the end of the month, you really start loving and liking yourself so much more, because what what happened is those classes sort of like renew your understanding of yourself. You're really not that bad you used to think you are. There's nothing wrong with you. Because you think something wrong with you act with all those like craziness and neuroses that make people believe that there are something wrong with you, and then those people will tell you, yeah, you're batshit crazy. Sometimes I do too, right? I tell you batshit crazy. But it doesn't mean those things are like real, meaning that it cannot be changed, it cannot be fixed. The key is really just to love yourself. But this self love thing is really that elusive. It's very difficult to love yourself when you see your EUM doesn't step up, your EUM still sleeping with other women. What's wrong with me? You know, he doesn't love me. How can I love myself? This guy, who at first was so addicted to me doesn't even love me anymore, right? So that is just the background. Um, so the journey inward is still $100 off until tomorrow. Tomorrow is February 28th at the end of the month. Okay, ladies. So I'll talk about how this program will run. Let's look at the calendar here. We're gonna start. Usually I'll do it during weekend. So let's start, say, on the 14th of March, which is a Sunday. Okay, and then we can discuss timing in the group. So if you're not in the group, please add yourself. I put the link to the free group for the program on the original post. Add yourself there. March 14 is a Sunday. And the way I do my program is there is no fixed time. Why is that? Because all of you come from all over the world, and some of you always complain, that is too late for me. I cannot do it that time. So I want each one of you to have the experience to attend live so you can ask questions live. But if you cannot anyway, there will always be recordings that you can listen later, and you can always PM me or list your questions before every class so I can address it even when you're not there, and then you can listen later and follow it up with more questions. And this cycle of journey inward program, ladies, I want to be more specific to your needs, because each one of you is on a different journey, a different path. Okay, I want to help you specifically. It sounds expensive to you, but it really is not, because the program itself will run between 4 to 6 months. So there will be a lot of time one-on-one every day in the group. So it is a very affordable if you see the big picture of how long and how much material, how much coaching you're gonna have, and how much help you're gonna have from me personally. Uh, it's not that expensive. Okay, so that is how I differentiate you, ladies. Some of you, I understand, cannot afford, $1,000, whatever, for the program, right now 1,099. I cannot You cannot afford it. I do understand that. That's why I give free classes every now and then. But for me to effectively help you means that I have to focus my energy on you, right? And then this is how I make my living. So I'm sure you understand that at the end of the day, nothing is free in the world. There is no such thing as free lunch, ladies. Stop being a victim. Stop expecting free lunches. Okay, it's great to be a receiver, but don't be a taker. I'm a giver, and I love to receive as well. You know, Giving and receiving work in tandem. So I receive from you, and then in return, I give my time. I give my energy. I give my experience of self-knowledge to you. Okay. And then I give also to other people in forms of charity, free classes, and so forth and so on. I have no problem being a giver as well as a receiver. So you need both. But don't be a taker. A taker is a greedy person who thinks they are entitled to everything because they are victims. Oh, I'm a victim. People always wrong me. People always steal from me, this and that. So I need to take, 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 take. Okay. So if you want to be successful, first of all, don't be a taker. No taker has been successful in their career and job. Only givers and those who know how to receive, to gratefully and gladly receive based on their contribution first are the most successful people in the world. Okay, if you practice this principle the way I do, you cannot fail in life. I promise you. Okay, so let's see the question from Queen Maggie. Oh my, bear with me, ladies. Facebook keep changing their features. Sometimes it's just like so complicated to get into some features. All right. Hello, Kat. I didn't share it live because I feel ashamed to share it in a group of people. The reason I bought your ebook is to find relationship tips and to work on myself. I have been depressed lately because I don't know what to do next. I have been married for 7 years. In our fourth year of marriage, we've we fought a lot, and my husband is the hard-headed kind of man since childhood. I'm soft-headed. So anytime we had arguments, he could silent treat me and I could follow him around to make peace. He could call me a weak person. He could say I should be strong in life, like his mother. His sister came to live with us and made a hell in my own home. And my husband always took her side. He always said I was the problem, not the sister. He always said I am sensitive and easily offended. When it came to sex, we could have it when he wants. When he knew I wanted sex, he could pretend to be snoring and deep asleep. So I felt emotionally neglected and found comfort in another man. So I cheated Kat. After a month, I felt guilty and sorry, and I asked for my husband's forgiveness. He never left me, but started an affair with a workmate at his workplace. He became angry and distant, and I couldn't touch his phone. He was so bitter. After 5 months, he asked me to be pregnant for our second baby because he had forgiven me. And he started taking me to outings, but he was not warm as before. So when I was 3 months pregnant, I found a message in his phone, romantic one. When I confronted him, he confessed to having retaliated with his own affair. He said he was bitter, but still wants our marriage to work. I came to realize the mistress got pregnant from by him during the affair. I was shocked and numb, and I fall into depression, not knowing what to do. What hurt me most is that I realized my husband was bitter but not compassionate with me. I felt he felt I deserved the result of his affair. He felt I deserved the result of his affair. He kept saying I cheated. That's why he revenged. It's now 3 years since the incident, but I'm lost, not knowing what to do. He shifted his workplace and comes home every day. Then he wants our marriage to work out. Nowadays, there is no funny behaviors with his home. He is just undergoing. uh, But I got bitter with him for asking me to be pregnant, knowing his mistress was pregnant. I am confused between quitting and staying. I wonder how I will start my life with 2 kids. He keeps convincing me to stay. He says we have all made mistakes and can work it out. He cares when I'm sad nowadays. Every day he tells me I'm the problem of our marriage. Kat, help me please. If I think of walking away or staying, both keep me in anguish and bitterness. He said if I away, I will regret I will regret it after 10 years because he won't marry the mistress. He says he loves me, but I show him mood swings. Cat, male college, uh, all my male college mates, knew my husband cheated, and the side chick got pregnant. I feel ashamed of his act, especially because I had witnesses who knew me. He just wants me to stay, but I don't know what I want. Please help, Kat. He always says I'm controlling and judgmental. Kat, how can I find peace again? Living and staying give me inner conflict. Kat, I was raised in a dysfunctional family. All my love, all my life as a kid, I knew only pain. I'm sorry, sweetheart. My parents are not supportive. They always fight. And it's now 30 years in marriage. My mother believes in tolerating abuse. I never knew love. So knowing true love can be hard for me to realize. My husband provides and calls me when away, but deep inside me, I fear to be hurt. He can't protect me when it comes to conflict with his family. Kat, you are the man whisper. What should I do? I live with anxiety and panic attacks, waiting for the other shoe to drop. I live with the same anxiety and panic attacks when my dad was a drunkard and could come home to beat my mom every night for 20 years. My mother could intimidate me. She could always disapprove of my silent, introverted personality. She could call me ugly and bad-hearted. Please help me. Hi. Maggie, Queen Maggie. First of all, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Okay, be compassionate with yourself. But also at the same time, be patient. You are going through a very rough life situation, a very deep rut. And I understand you need help. You cannot do this alone because you're stuck, right? And I'm trying to get you unstuck from your rut. So, yes, I will strongly recommend you sign up. Do not wait. Sign up for Journey Inward. So I can help you. You can work closely with me. I wouldn't be able just to help you with this one class, right? Because your history is like so layered, goes back to to the time, uh, when you were a child growing up in a dysfunctional, codependent, toxic family. So naturally, that is the only reference you have about man, relationship, and marriage, right? So you didn't know, you cannot distinguish what from what. Because all your life you've been conditioned to 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 make that kind of dysfunction as normalcy. It's a normal thing for you, tolerating abuse and so forth and so on right now, right? And then you don't even know yourself. Your husband thinks you are very sensitive, you are very judgmental, while you think you are very soft, all of us think we are the good ones and our partners the bad ones, all of us. When we are especially in a toxic relationship, we cannot see our contribution to the problem because all the problems lay squarely on our partner's shoulders. So each one of you who is stuck in a rut pretty much blames your partner for your issues. And I want you to come to awareness that those problems are really the result of your unconsciousness. The minute you know how to be conscious, you stop doing the very things that contribute. And I can I have helped so many women do that, but it takes time, sweetheart. It's not gonna be just like giving you, a line of advice, a paragraph of advice, and all of a sudden, voila, the bulb get lit off, right? No, it's a process. It's a process, and you have to walk the walk to know what is what. And my approach with coaching is always process oriented, meaning that you have to do the journey. You have to surrender to the journey, and you take note. You observe, right? Um, so basically, you become a scientist of the mind. You observe yourself as if yourself is like a different species. You observe without judgment, without condemnation, but you observe and learn through the inner reactions that keep uh, brewing and sort of bobbing up onto the surface, and you take notes, and then you practice also, you experiments with different approaches to problems in your life. For example, in my last satsang in the fan subscriptions, I talk about, what if the batshit crazy one is your partner? This, not everyone of you, of us women, are the problems. Sometimes it's the guy who is the problem. And I acknowledge that relationship is a two-way street, right? You're not the only one responsible for the health or functionality of your relationship. Sometimes you pair with a guy who is just so wounded, who is so insecure, who is so jealous, who is so controlling. Everything probably, most of you are doing with your EUM or partners. But the situation is reversed. So the title of that class is, if your partner is so triggered by your leaning back, what to do. Some guys, you know, they want you to do all the work, and they become so insecure when you don't, when you stop calling, when you start leaning back, when you stop chasing them around, right? So, or some of them are like extremely jealous and controlling and possessive. So, what approach you can do to navigate that situation? That class was so, I love most of my classes, and I always say that was one of my favorite classes of all of in the library of the fan subscriptions. I give you a tip on how I dealt with Joey's jealousy and possessiveness. It was extreme when we first dated. It was so extreme, but these days he trusts me. He trusts me 100%. So sign up for the fan subscriptions. For only 99, you get that all 141 classes you can listen to today. If you all have time in the world, you can, not all 150 hours, of course, because a day only 24 hours, but it will keep you busy for a while. So other than the journey inward, that is also a great place for you just to run things with me every week. Okay. Uh, so Maggie, obviously you're not aware of your tendency of being controlling yourself. If your husband says that you are controlling, you're this, you're that, you're sensitive, likelihood is there is truth to what he says. Not entirely your fault, of course, not entirely 100% true, but at least it's partially true. Okay? And it's okay to be somewhat controlling, somewhat judgmental, somewhat sensitive, because all of us will show up that way from time to time, right? I can probably to Joey appear controlling too sometimes. Not so much, but when I do show up that way, I guess I am controlling. And I can be judgmental too, of course. And I can be sensitive. And it's okay. Meaning that all of us have the lights and dark sides to us. Okay. In fact, if you're not embracing and acknowledging your dark sides, those dark sides are going to haunt you. This is probably what is happening to you, Maggie. You're not aware of your sensitive, controlling side, and this is why it controls you. This is why you act in such an unconscious way with your husband that creates this rockiness in your relationship, right? So, yes, I can make you see in the program and give you advice what to do or not to do. Right now, I want to give you something. My advice with you is right now, just be patient. Please be patient and learn to trust your husband. Did your husband something terribly wrong by making his mistress pregnant? Absolutely. I can only empathize how hard it might be for you knowing that he's gonna have a baby with another woman. So if you can update me what he's planning to do with this baby and the mistress. But he wants to work it out with you, meaning he loves you. He has good intention in him. So trust him for now. Trust him. Right now, you cannot walk away, meaning you are in limbo. And I will not advise you to walk away when you're not ready. It's not going to work. You can only walk away when you are done, meaning that there's nothing else to be learned from this marriage, from this relationship. In your case, there is a ton to be learned from it. So stay, okay? If you have to ask me, should I walk away or should I stay? Meaning you have to stay. If you know it's time to walk away, you won't even ask. It just will naturally happen because it's supposed to happen. You cannot help it. It's inevitable. So do not resist the inevitable. The inevitable is there is so much to be learned from this mess. And in fact, when life throws you a lemon, ladies, turn it into lemon martini or lemonade if you don't drink alcohol. I don't like martini myself, so I'll turn because it's bitter. I like margarita, so maybe turn the lemon into lemon margarita. How's that? Okay, so that is what the attitude I've had in my life. I always manage to turn my life disasters into an opportunity for growth. You know why I have what I have right now? Like this beautiful home, this place that I live in with my family. You could see my baby there. There you go. That's my daughter, Freckles Olivia. She's my baby. She's so wonderful. The fact that I live the kind of life I live right now, ladies, is the result of a disaster of my life, Maggie. So I will teach you all the secrets, how I turn my life tragedy into, you know, a wonderful life, a wonderful, peaceful life, or a thriving business. Not necessarily having to be related to business, right? But I just so happen that, my life tragedy turned me into some very wise person, and then who could help so many people dealing with their relationship and life issues. And I am handsomely rewarded for that contribution to to your lives, to society. So I can also teach you. So what happened to you, Maggie, is supposed to happen. So don't beat yourself up. Don't be don't beat your husband up. Okay? Don't beat his sister up either. Everything that happens in your life happens for a reason. So it can teach you something. What whatever happens in your life acts as a mirror to show you the area you need to work on. All this pain and suffering and sadness and anguishes show you the dents and the chips on that well-rounded bowl. I want you to look into that first class I did last Monday on the well-rounded bowl that get chips on the surface. Valley here, crater here, dent here, hole here. It's like the surface of the moon, right? It's not smooth. So this is why when life events sort of strike you in those gashing, like open wounds, you feel stimulated in the form of extreme pain and suffering. Okay, this pain is teaching you something. So there is a lady on YouTube, Living Success Strategy. What's your program? I will, sweetheart, stick with me. I will post it later. I haven't uh, written the original post for the YouTube, but I'll respond to you later. It's called Journey Inward. It's an inner work program. Okay, so I'm teaching you, ladies. Welcome every hardship that you are experiencing right now in your life. Maggie, I want you to welcome this suffering. I want you to welcome this phase of trial and tribulation. I want you to welcome this hurt that your husband causes in you. There pose as a life lesson. So when you are well-rounded, meaning you no longer have hole, crater, valley, dents, chips. You're full. You are whole. You're wholesome. Nothing in life anymore can affect you in such a way that you will give up on life, that you cannot bear living your life anymore. Okay? So, wholeness is the key to mental health. When you're mentally healthy, you always know how to deal with every situation. How do I know to deal with every situation? I just pick the path of least resistance. That's all I do. What is easy for me and what is the easiest for me, that is what I'm gonna do. And I'm happy when my life is easy, when everything is just so effortless and natural to me. Right? That's why I don't go out seeking problems in the world. I don't need problems. And problems stop also seeking me. When you have come to that place of wholeness, you're not attracted to drama anymore. Just not your thing. Not your thing. But when you are still, you know, having so many unresolved issues in the form of chips, dents, crater holes, valleys, right? You're going to be always gravitated toward the very thing that wounds you, right? What hurts you compels you. Isn't it interesting, human psychology? We are in fact gravitated towards something that tortures us, that pains us, that creates so much anguish and grievances in our life. Why is that? So I'm gonna take you step by step into that realization in the program, because right now most of you are not aware of that. You're not aware of that tendency. This is why your life is just a succession from one dramatic event to the next, from one heartbreak to the next, from one violent fight to the next. You cannot get out of it because, again, you are unconscious. Conscious people are not attracted to that. It doesn't do anything for them anymore. It just doesn't. So, are you still with me, ladies? Do you have any questions? Let me see this. This is from Sally Ann. Hello, Cat. Looks beautiful there. It's 46 degrees here. Where is here, Sally? Is that in New York? Okay. Thank you for being here. And hello, Sanija. Sanija, how do I pronounce your name? Thank you for being here. Do you have any question, ladies? So back to Maggie. Maggie, be patient. Okay. Right now, you're not ready to go away. Number and trust your man. Trust your husband. Okay. And if he says that you are uh, reactive, you are controlling, you are sensitive, probably this is why you have a problem with his sister, you might want to look into that. I'm not saying you are at fault for not getting along with his sister. For all I know, his sister could be the one who is the problem. But I won't know until I work with you. Okay? So if his sister is really the problem, then you can talk to your husband calmly, say that yes, I want to work with our marriage, but I cannot deal with the rockiness of our marriage while also dealing with your sister's craziness. So she has to move out and find somewhere else to live. So just talk very nicely heart to heart with your husband, because she can pose as like the third wheel in the relationship, right? And you don't want that also to happen in your relationship. So when you know that somebody has been interfering and creating so much rifts in your relationship, then yes, absolutely, you have to get rid of that third wheel. I don't know one way or another. I'm just guessing from what you told me. And your husband says he's not gonna marry the mistress because he wants to work on your marriage. So yeah, you're gonna have two children soon, right? Are you still pregnant right now? So yes, your two children will be better off living with two parents, two uh, parents who can coexist peacefully. And I will teach you how to coexist peacefully, okay? And how you can deal with this sense of betrayal. What he did was wrong, but you also cheated on him, Han. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that he's the only one who is not faithful. You also were. The best thing you can do is to forgive yourself first. Forgive yourself for straying. Every one of us has it in us to be a cheater. I even talk about it in the fan subscription too. So sign up for the fan subscriptions. I talk in several classes about cheating, why people cheat, and what to do with cheating, or what is the definition of cheating. Sometimes cheating needs to happen because whatever happened, as I always say, it's supposed to happen anyway. Why do you even try to undo or try to deny, try to make everything that has happened to be so totally wrong? It's so unproductive to do that sort of thing. That is what neurotic is. So you realize, you know, what you did probably wrong. Even though whatever it is, there is no such thing as entirely wrong, right? If I start with the premise that we have to accept every part of us, so which means we have to come to terms with that the dark side of us too. What is the dark side of us? Yeah, the dark side of us is the side of us that can cheat, that can lie, that can exaggerate, that can steal, that can kill, for example, all you name it. We are not going to be exempted from that tendency at all time. Okay? Meaning you have to come to terms with your own humanity, with your own weaknesses and shortcomings. And if you don't, you're going to keep you're going to continually torture yourself. And as you are torturing yourself, you are torturing your relationship, you're torturing your partner, you're torturing the people around you. So forgive yourself, forgive for your cheating. Once you forgive yourself, you will begin to be able to forgive your husband for his cheating, for making his mistress pregnant. So you can come to terms with it. You can be at peace with it. So they say, the mistress will keep the baby. You can love their child too, like your own, for example, because it's not the child's fault, right? That it was uh, it was created or it's given birth. When the hurt's all gone, the anger is also gone. The anger toward the child or the mistress is also gone. Just accept. So maybe your husband is not gonna have a romantic relationship with her, but he can still be responsible for the child. So in a way, who knows what's gonna happen? You know, you might as well just have an extended family. It doesn't have to be that way if you don't feel it. But I'm just saying there is a possibility when all the anger and resentment and the hurt and the wound has been healed, you will approach this tragedy in a totally different light with a totally new pair of eyes, new sets of eyes. And what a revelation it's going to be that out of your suffering, out of the tragedy of your life, you create something beautiful on top of it. So you become like a lotus flower. You see, the lotus is like a very prominent symbolism or symbol in Buddhism. You know why? Because lotus blooms from mud, like a pool of mud, right? Everything else around them is so dark and dirty. But look at the lotus, it just pops up from that dirt to become such a beautiful flower. And you can be that lotus. I am that lotus. I come from the mud, from my life tragedy. And I bloom to become so beautiful. And I create beautiful things from my dark side, from my suffering, from the mud. And I can teach you how. So don't condemn yourself. Don't condemn your dark side. Embrace it. See it for what it is. Understand it for what it is. That is how you get out of the rut. That is how you unstuck from the rut in your love and life. Liz asks how to let go and trust the process to unfold by being alert, by being awake and aware. So you no longer become impulsive. Impulsive people are not aware of the fluctuations of their own inner reactions. They just act on every single thought that pops in their head. right? So they don't know. They're just very reactive instead of responsive. So when the mind says jump, you jump. When the mind says sleep, when the mind says get angry, you get angry. When the mind says get jealous, you get jealous. You are acting on impulses all the time. That's the very definition of unconscious. And you get the same results over and over through the same impulsive behavior you display. But someone who is already somewhat aware, somewhat alert, they will sit with whatever feelings arise moment to moment, not always jump onto those feelings and start making a scene out of those feelings, for example. But they process it first. The initial feelings could be anger, but you don't have to jump on that anger and then start broadcasting into the world. Instead, you sit with your anger. You reflect. That's the very definition of reflection. You let the energy sort of work to find its own channel inside of your body and psyche, right? Not all of a sudden always sort of project it outside, but you process it within yourself. Sometimes it will become a physiology, we will manifest into physiological mm, sensations. Like, for example, what? Your, your heart beats faster, your breath becomes short. A lot of time, we're not aware of that, right? We're not aware that there is of of the beginning of anger arises to the end result of being angry and aware. You will see that before anger becomes angry actions, there is a physiological process that goes along with it. First of all, you're going to be, your heart will beat faster, and your breath becomes shorter, and your hands are shaking. Are you aware of that before you become batshit crazy? I bet most of you are not. But as you become alert and the true the true followers of the process unfolding, you will sit with those initial feelings and reaction first. Wow, I'm feeling so angry right now, and my heart beats like crazy, and become so short breath, and my hands are shaking. I am pissed off. So then what you do? And you sit with the feelings. My goodness, I'm fucking pissed off. I want to kill someone. But let's not go that way. Let's not go on that route first. Let me sit with my anger for a little bit. So what do? You just breathe through your anger. And minutes or seconds later, as you breathe through your anger, your mind stops churning angry thoughts. And as the result, your body starts responds differently as well. Your breath becomes more regular and it slows down again, and then your heart beats slower, and your hands are stop shaking. So you become calm again. And then in that very moment, the lesson is learned. Hey, I can deal with my anger without lashing out, without killing someone, in fact. I can just sit and reflect on my anger, and it dissipates by itself. It finds its own channel by itself, for example. Do I make sense, Liz? So, ladies, bottom line, sign up for Journey Inward. All right. So you will become so emotionally intelligent in the process. You know, even when you want to be angry, you want to lash out, you do it consciously. You do it with awareness. All right. I really love this class today, cats. Thank you, Skeeter. Sign up, Skeeter, for Journey Inward. So I'm gonna go through the like every trait that we have. For example, envy, jealousy, anger, resentment, pride, joy, humility. Uh, what else? Uh, Charity or generosity. So whatever trait you can imagine, we're gonna dissect it, dive deep into it, so you understand what it actually is, and you can all reconcile it into yourself. So you become this well-rounded, beautiful ball without the craters, the holes, the valleys, the chips and dents. And then what happens when you come to that place of just reconciling, reclaiming every trait of yourself? You become so peaceful because you see yourself in everyone in the world and you see everyone in you. You see sameness with everyone in the world. You no longer become divisive, you no longer become neurotic. We still can not like someone, but we won't entertain the. If someone is really just not vibrating at your frequency because they always bring drama and toxicity in your life, and uh, you stop entertaining them. They're no longer in your clique, so you naturally just drift away from that kind of people because you see there is nothing you can gain from interaction with these people. There's nothing you can really learn from these people that you haven't already learned. So you're naturally not attracted to those kind of people. They're not gonna be, you know, in your inner circle. They're not gonna be your friends, which is fine. When you become whole, doesn't mean that you're gonna accept everyone into your clique. No, you become in fact more selective. You only allow people who bring peace into your mind, which is your temple, to be around you. Those people who don't bring peace into you, they're not gonna seek you either. Even though some people are going to be by you, right? They don't necessarily love you, but they're huge fans in a way that they love to follow you around and bash you at the same time. But they are you actually huge fans. They just don't know it yet because you pose a trigger to them. You are so triggering to them. You know what I'm saying? And I have those kind of people too around me. Follow me around, but always say bad things about me and always listen me and all that. Say, hey, don't follow me. I don't need followers. Ladies, I think it's good for now. Such a great class. I can always say that with every class that I conduct, free or not. It's always great. Always can learn a thing or two about yourself in every class, can't you? So I'll probably show up again on Monday to give you the breakdown of the program. So add yourself to the group, ladies. Okay. So if you want to know the breakdown of the program, and we start talking also about what time you can attend on the 14th of March. So I will pick the time that most of you can attend naturally because I want interaction. I want you. I don't want to just to speak to myself in the class. If none of you probably will cancel the class, I need at least, a few people in the class to sit with me and be interactive and ask me questions, so I don't talk to ghosts or to an empty. Okay, so I need at least some of your participation. Sign up for Journey Inward. No, um, I can securely say that nobody else in the niche really can teach you this. Okay, not to the personal level that I teach you this, because what I teach you is my own inner process, my own life journey, my own personal experience. So I don't read books and then sort of bring it to you, reword it and stuff like that. I don't do that. Well, I if I do quote someone, I give credit to those people. So not just getting someone material and then claiming as my own. I will give credit to whoever I am quoting. It's just my moral obligation to do that, my ethical obligation to do that. Like that is the least you can do, because I know how it feels to be copied by other people. There are a few of my copycats around, and I don't appreciate that. I don't like that. Yes, it pisses me off. Thank you so much for being here, ladies. I'll see you again probably on Monday. Sign up for Journey Inward and as well as the fan subscriptions to learn, to listen to the classes I mentioned in this class. All right? Bye bye for now.